Hey guys, it's Amelia here, and today's video is another one that I did with Sue Martin, and we're going to talk through common problems in transitions. Like lots of times your horse will come above the bit, or they won't listen to your leg, or a typical one in the trot to canter transition is that they'll start going super fast in the trot before they pick up the canter. So I'm going to try and demonstrate these while I'm riding, and Sue's going to talk through kind of what to do and how to fix them. And also, please, if you guys haven't checked us out on Patreon, I will put the link below, and head over there. You'll get some more videos and also a chance to help support us. Today, also very exciting news. I'm going to show you guys. I just got in the mail. I ordered a new microphone so that I can ride and be talking while I'm riding, because the old one that I had wasn't working. It kept cutting out while I was talking through riding. So I think this will be a really great tool that I can be riding and also talk to you guys about like what I'm feeling and what I'm going through. So
hi, I'm Sue Martin, and I'm going to work with Amelia for a minute, and we're going to talk about problems that people have in transitions and how to make your transitions better. So she's going to start out with how to deal with the horse coming above the bit in a transition. So maybe a walk to trot transition first. And she's going to probably have to make Ludo come a little above the bit. So there he's not on the bit anymore. And she rides the transition and he comes even more off the bit, and he runs away a little bit. So I think she just wanted to trot there, but because he wasn't round and connected to the bridle, he didn't understand what she wanted. So she's going to walk again, and this time she's going to wait and get him a little bit more on the bit in the walk.
So how do I get him on the bit?
Okay, so we'll explain that. She's going to put her hands down a little bit first. She's going to relax her back because she's holding tension in her body right now, and he's not walking forward. So first she has to say to him, walk forward with your leg. And then she has to put her hands down quietly, and she might need to soften his jaw a little bit by moving her fingers and her wrists very slightly on the rein until he gets soft. Depending on your horse is going to depend on how strong that has to be. This particular horse is a pretty light, soft horse, so too much makes him put his head down too low. So now she has him a little bit too low in the bridle, and he's a little behind the vertical and on his forehand. So she has to help him come back up, and she's going to do that by pushing him a little forward and keeping a very steady rein so he can meet the bit. That was much better. And there he trotted off very nicely on the bit for a young horse. And this horse is fairly young and he's not very advanced, so we don't expect him to keep his pole super high or do anything very difficult. We just expect him to be calm and relaxed and accepting the contact, and that was quite good. She could carry her hands an inch lower when he's in the correct place, because she breaks the line just a little bit from her elbow to the bit, and we don't want that. And that was good. The next thing that horses have a problem with in the transitions is running into the canter. So she's going to trot, and she's going to ask him to canter, but instead of asking him to canter the way she normally does, she's going to let him get a big head of steam up in the trot first and get faster and faster and faster until he finally breaks to canter, which we see a lot. So there he goes, and he's almost going to break to canter, and he's almost going to break to canter, and then finally he canters. But that's not a transition that we want. So so what she's going to do about that is she's going to come back to trot now. Lean back a little bit and sit a little quieter and go sitting trot again. And this time, before she canters, she's going to help him find balance. She's going to find the trot that she wants, and she's going to ride a little half halt before she asks with her leg. And then he finds the canter in balance, and there's no running strides. So when the horse is running, it's because he's out of balance. The other thing we see a lot is horses falling out of the canter into the trot, breaking. And there's a couple different reasons for that. One can be that the rider forgets to keep the leg in the position for the canter. So in canter on a circle line, or anytime I'm on left lead canter, my inside leg should be at the girth and my outside leg should be back. If that changes, the horse might think that it's time to trot, which is what happened just then.
So my leg for the canter should be where?
Your leg for the canter should be a few inches behind the girth. So if we say at the girth, means that her stirrup and her toe are parallel to the girth, right? Behind the girth is going to be about there. This is too far back and is going to get into an area that most horses don't really like to be touched. If I have my leg here, then it's the same as the other leg and it doesn't designate the canter. So I want to keep my outside leg in the canter position anytime I'm in canter all the time. So when she's trotting, her leg is going to be a little less back than when she asks him to canter. When she asks him to canter, her leg is going to go a little further back. And that was good. Now the other reason that he can fall out of canter is because he gets on his forehand and he gets out of balance. And then he just kind of accidentally slops down into the trot because he wasn't in balance. A lot of people think that that means the horse is being lazy and they run him back up into canter really fast. That's the wrong thing to do because you're not teaching your horse to balance at that moment. So instead what we want her to do is if he breaks from canter to trot, we want her to rebalance the trot as quickly as she can and as much organization as she can, and then ask him again. And she's going to reorganize by riding those half-halt aids that we talked about in another video, where she just comes into her core, slows her back down, and closes her knee and thigh a little bit. And that was good. So if he falls out of trot without her telling him to, she says, oops, and she rebalances and she sits and she canters again. That was good. And then he learns gradually that he's not supposed to fall out of trot out of canter into trot.
Okay, let's do wrong lead. I'll see if I can do it.
Okay, so the other thing that happens in the transitions, especially in the canter, is that your horse might pick up the wrong lead. And there's a bunch of different reasons for that. We're going to see if she can make Ludo do that because he doesn't really know too much about counter canter. He says he got confused. Let's see if she can get the wrong lead. There she goes. Now he's on the wrong lead and he's out of balance and he's going to fall around the circle. So in that case, he picked up the wrong lead because she had him improperly bent on the circle. He was looking to the outside and her aids were not clear. She also leaned forward. She came off of her seat. There she goes. And she didn't ask him in the same way that she had asked him before. So if your horse picks up the wrong lead over and over again, you want to say to yourself, okay, where am I sitting? What could be wrong? Sometimes the rider will get the wrong lead because the rider's sitting to the outside and they're leaning to the wrong direction. Sometimes the rider will get the wrong lead because they lean too much to the inside and throw the horse out of balance in that way. It's a little harder to demonstrate on a horse who doesn't naturally want to pick up the counter lead. So if she picks up the wrong lead, what should she do? She should bring him back to trot, reorganize the trot. Don't get in a hurry and just desperately try to get back into the correct lead, but reorganize the trot and ask him again when he's better in balance and when the bend is in the correct direction.